Today we're taking a look at Microsoft's brand new Surface Pro 3 tablet hybrid. If you look at the Pro 3 from what Microsoft first said about the Surface line back in 2012, this really is the culmination of their initial vision. This brings together the pieces they wanted to in a package that's finally attractive enough to make sense at a price point I think the market will react well to. So this you could even call the first real Surface. Today we're going to take a very high-level look at the device, who might use it, where you might use it, and who might buy it. The Surface Pro 3 is Microsoft's most recent attempt to fuse a laptop and a tablet together. The keyboard comes off, as with earlier devices, but the package now is thinner, lighter, faster, and cheaper. If you like the Surface Pro 1 or Surface Pro 2, there's a lot here you're going to like. But for people who didn't like the earlier devices, there's still quite a lot that's new. The thin package is very interesting. It feels great in your hands. The new keyboard design that folds up onto the display itself for more stability is great. The touchpad's far improved. The speakers are better. Really, it's a kind of an overall holistically improved laptop from what was offered earlier. The largest change, or what's most new in the Surface Pro 3 is its screen. Earlier Surface devices, I always felt like too small of a display. You were always kind of leaning into them, trying to figure out what was going on. The Surface Pro 2 has a 12-inch display, or about what you find in most MacBook Airs. It feels quite different. And what I think is very important to note is that Windows itself on the Surface Pro 3 feels better. It has more space to breathe. And so the overall software experience on the new hardware is just better. Component to the new Surface Pro 3 is this new redesigned pen. Now, I've never been a fan of pen input since the Palm 3C days. I found it to be kind of clunky and terrible. The Surface Pro 1 and 2 both allowed for pen input, but the pen that was provided was always a little weak, it felt cheap, didn't really have that great of capacitive touch. It was just kind of a lame experience. Surface Pro 3 actually ups that entire game. The new pen feels great, looks great, and has some really amazing fidelity on the screen itself. So what's fun about the new keyboard on the Surface Pro 3 is that it folds up onto the actual screen itself and locks on with magnets, so you have a different kind of feel. It's more rigid, and it's designed for what Microsoft stupidly calls lappability. Funny term, decent experience. And this all kind of comes together with the new foldable kickstand. So you have really a number of ways you can kind of approach surfacing now with the Pro 3, and you'll probably find what works best for you. But I kind of like the way it folds up. It feels more like a laptop when you're typing on it. What does it run? Well, the Surface Pro 3, as you'd expect, runs right now Windows 8.1. So if you know Windows 8.1, you kind of know what you're going to get. But if you don't know, it'll run all normal desktop apps that you have on all Windows PCs you've ever used. And it'll also run the entire new cadre of what are called modern apps from the Windows Store. As you probably recall, the Surface Pro 2 retailed for a base price of $899 without a keyboard. Now, what's funny is this device, which is in fact way better than the Pro 2, costs $100 less, $799 for the base model. Now, you still have to shell out for the keyboard itself, which is $129, so it's not a cheap package, but it is cheaper than what was offered before. Microsoft made the comparison between the MacBook Air and the Surface Pro 3, even putting them on a little scale on stage. It was kind of gimmicky, but fun. But it's a good question. Now, as a daily MacBook Air user, I'm a big fan of the laptops. I think the MacBook Air is really the finest laptop ever made. Sorry, Lenovo. But the Surface Pro 3 offers something different. It offers touch, pen input, and a more flexible kind of form factor that allows for more stuff. So I feel like if you're kind of multimodal, that you want to use your fingers and maybe a pen, the Pro 3 probably has more to offer in terms of what you can do for work. Now, I type a lot. That's literally my day job. So I don't know if it's going to be a better choice for me to use this or the MacBook Air, but I will say that I kind of want to try this out as a daily driver for a while and then compare it to the Air. The predecessors to the Surface Pro 3, the 2 and the 1, were definitely aimed at a very specific corporate clientele, businesses, enterprises, that sort of thing. I feel like with the Pro 3, with the larger screen, the more attractive styling, really, and the lower price point, it could be more attractive to a larger group of people. The question is, how big is the PC market out there for a mid to high price device among regular folk? People like to buy small, cheap, $300 laptops. Will they spring for this? I don't know. We'll see in the revenue numbers, but at least Microsoft is widening the appeal of the device so it could at least hit a larger demographic. So, will the Surface Pro 3 succeed? Well, we'll know soon enough. Right now, Microsoft breaks out Surface revenue every single quarter, so we'll get a report card very soon.